Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2024 general reading. We are looking at the first half of May, roughly from the 1st through the 15th, and this reading is for the Earth sign of Virgo. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks, as I always like to start out with a little note of gratitude. Thank you for being here, for taking the time to watch these videos we put so much work into, for liking, sharing, subscribing, reaching out, commenting, all of that. Very much appreciated. Thank you. All right, Virgo, let's see what the first half of May looks like for you. For those of you who like to know, I'm using the Royal Deluxe Tarot, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot, both by Ciro Marchetti. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you're cross-watching for Virgo, it's also relevant. If you know any or all of your signs, placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch those as well. Those of you who are on the cusp of two signs, watch both those videos as well for any additional insight and clarity into your personal situation. Now, they're general readings, so they may resonate a little differently for everyone, but if you find they do resonate with you, something really hits home, or you really like the reading style, if you are interested in a personal reading with me, for yourself or as a gift for someone else, please feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can see that contact info by clicking the description of this video. I can usually get back to you within 24 hours with more information. I do offer a pretty wide array of reading choices in all areas of life, different types, lengths, budgets, styles, spreads. Just a little bit of something in there for everyone. And I am pretty diligent about timely scheduling of personal readings too. So if you're interested, email me. All right, Virgo, let's take a look at the first half of May 2024 for you. We begin with the Eight of Coins. Working hard, detail-oriented, nose to the grindstone. With the Three of Swords, do you worry that all your work, time, investment in something might have been all for nothing or have been wasted somehow? Next we have the Seven of Wands, which is defending, protecting, standing guard, standing up for something. With the Three of Wands, hope, positivity, and optimism for the future, starting to see your efforts paying off, feeling more hopeful and optimistic about the future, feeling a great conflict here, like an internal conflict, could be external as well, between something you were devoted to and something new, perhaps, that might clash with it. Next, we have the Six of Wands, victory, triumph, success, recognition, ego. With the Seven of Cups, looking at possibility, potential, daydreaming, fantasizing a little, looking at what the possibilities and potential of something is. From the bottom of the deck, the overall theme and focus for the first half of May, Virgo, is the Five of Wands, which represents conflict. Internal conflict, conflict within yourself. External conflict, conflict with other people, arguing, fighting. You know, the same thing going around and around and around and around again. Might be a combination of internal and external for some of you. Let's peel this back a bit. Let's take a look at that Five of Wands for overall energy, the card of conflict. The Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. So the conflict is over, a new beginning, a new start, something new has come in that you feel very excited, very drawn to, very passionate about. The Three of Pentacles is getting everybody on board with it, and that therein is the nature of this conflict. Maybe some people are not in agreement with you. Maybe even you are experiencing conflict within yourself. It's like, because the Ace of Wands is it's a brand new, fresh new spark that could grow into a fire if you tended it, right? But then here, in the Eight of Coins, we have something you have already been putting work and effort into. But the Three of Swords denotes pain, heartache, heartbreak, disappointment. I mean, it's a general reading, so the intensity will vary. It feels like the conflict is between something that you have been devoted to and perhaps even still love, something you've put yourself into. There's something new in here, and it feels like you can't have both of them at the same time, or at least not in the same way, and that's the source of the conflict. And I feel like there may be one or maybe even more people who are also like in conflict about this with you. It's kind of like, but if I go on this new path, then I have to leave this, or I have to cut this off, and I don't want to do either thing. Feels challenging. Let's take a look at this Eight of Coins, Three of Swords. And maybe in thinking this new thing, it feels so strong. Does that mean that all the effort or all the work that I put into this other thing was for nothing? Perhaps it was to get you to this point and no more. Two of Cups. Soulmate, kindred spirit, best friend, a karmic connection with someone. And then the Five of Cups. Insufficiency and lack could be financially, materially. Maybe you've met someone, you're afraid you can't offer them everything that you think they want or need. And maybe by doing so, you feel like it's going to leave you shut out somehow. Now, it could be that if you go on the path of whatever the something new is, you may worry that for those of you that already have a connection, that it's going to make that person feel left out somehow or cut off somehow. For some of you, it's, again, the conflict is that you can't have both of these things at the same time. You have to make a choice, and you're trying to figure out what choice to make. It feels like you have Death, the Fool, Judgment. Yes, this is a significant life path changing decision, or would be, and it would represent a complete and total transformation of your life. It feels kind of like, Virgo, that here you were just kind of going about your life. You knew what you were doing. You knew the path that you were on. You're devoting yourself to, I don't know, whatever the things are that you're devoting yourself to in your day-to-day life, right? You know what your future is going to be like. You know what you're working towards. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, some new something, person, place, situation, something comes in. And all of a sudden, it feels like it just grabbed a hold of your heart and it's pulling you in this direction. But now you're looking at everything you have been investing in, everything you have been putting yourself into, and going, well, it's quite clear you can't have both, at least not in the fullness of what they are. You have to, choose, right? And now you're looking at this going, well, does that mean that everything I did was I mistaken? Or no, sometimes Spirit, this happens because it was meant to get us to this point so that this new thing could come to us. And then it was time to let go of that. I mean, it's not for me to say for each individual life. That's only for you. And we always have our free will and free agency. But the decision would be very transformative, and you would have to say, shut the door on one thing or the other. And therein, of course, is the challenge and the conflict. Seven of Wands, Three of Wands. Seven of Wands and Three of Wands is, here I'm getting kind of I don't have to make up my mind right this minute. I'm going to wait for a little while and see how this plays out. See if if this pulling, this new, if it's really real or if it will disappear quickly kind of energy. Which is smart, right? When we're considering giving up whatever it is this would require of you to give up, it's smart to take your time. We want to make sure it's not a flash in the pan, as it were, right? The Hanging Man, that's exactly what that's about. Trying to look at things from a different perspective, but in the meantime, waiting, watching, not making any particularly decisive moves yet, trying to see all different aspects of it. The Tower before you completely, totally, blow up your world, so to speak, in order to pursue something new. Seven of Cups, again, we have the Seven of Cups twice, but there's this element of looking at it, the possibility, the potential, kind of daydreaming, fantasizing about it a bit. The Four of Cups, what would it be like? But there's a sense here in this middle row of cards of, okay, I'm not going to act just quite yet. I'm going to give it some time. And again, I think that's wise. Six of Wands, because we're not looking at a long period of time here, roughly about a couple of weeks. These things do take time, sometimes a long time. You want to make sure if you're going to blow up X amount of time or years of something you've been investing in, you want to make sure, or at least have some kind of certainty, right? Well, you can't have some kind of certainty. That's a misnomer, but to wait and see if this thing seems like it's hit you out of nowhere, if it will disappear again just as quickly, or if it is actually real and you're meant to go in a new direction. Excuse me. Six of Wands, Seven of Cups. Yeah, Two of Pentacles, juggling two different options, trying to make a decision. Which way do I go? The Two of Wands, standing at a crossroads, trying to figure out which way do I go. Seven of Pentacles, looking at what I have invested in something and trying to figure out what to do with it. Same kind of energy. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Ace of Pentacles, considering a new start, a fresh new start. It's this whole reading's about. All right, let's just wrap it up with some advice, guidance, feedback from Spirit. The High Priestess. This is trusting in your intuition. Our intuition is our connection with Spirit. It's what gives us that feeling, even when it contradicts things externally. We feel pulled, right? Excuse me. This is about, some people call it higher self. Some people call it gut instinct. It's that sometimes not logical seeming sense that says when everything or other people are going, what are you doing thinking of switching? You've been devoting so many years of your life to this thing. Why all of a sudden you feel pulled in this other direction? I don't know. I just do. But it requires listening to your intuition, which means connection with divine, which takes a little bit of time, right? It's about kind of going off, being quiet, trying to shed some of the noise of the minutia of our day-to-day life and kind of calling out to God, Spirit, angels, and guides, what's the right thing to do here? Waiting to see if that feeling remains and then paying attention to it. The Hierophant, the Knight of Swords. Excuse me, just got hoarse all of a sudden. I'm also feeling here like a conversation with someone might be helpful, maybe even a couple of someone's. Somebody that you feel might be in a position of like mentor or wise advisor, or somebody that you see as having some kind of, experience, wisdom, intuition, patience, compassion, having a conversation with that person, or even a few people that might kind of fit that bill for you, seeking out wisdom, insight, and guidance, kind of maybe praying or meditating, whatever it is you do, and opening yourself up as well for that intuition. because this looks like a tremendous change of life path or lifestyle or something here, and you want to take your time in making it. You want to make sure that this new thing that's pulling on you is actually real, and that does take a little bit of time. There's no shortcut or substitute for it, because you don't want to regret it later. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Virgo, those are your messages for the first half of May 2024. I hope you found them, as I often say, relevant and useful. If you did, and if you're interested in maybe pulling the curtain back on it and taking a deeper look, reaching out for a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, you simply like the reading style maybe, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to hear from you and delighted to work with you. You can see that contact info by clicking the description of this video. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the May mid-month readings. Until then, stay well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.